All right, everybody. I'm always looking for new information, new ways of thinking of things, new ways of understanding technology. I mean, I talk about the metaverse to AI. And this video, I'm not I normally don't follow this content creator, but this video and the way it was explained, this, I believe, is a look into the future. And when I mean the future, I don't mean the next like 5 years or the next 2 years or 1 year. I mean in the next 3 to 5 months, probably by the end of this year, how we'll be working with things or how you should be working with things if you want to stay on pace with AI. And we've moved into agentic AI. So you think about LLMs, that's great. From talking to the models, now it's a matter of having them do things. And I think this video, it explains that, it shows where we are, where we're going, and then the skills that we're going to need moving forward. So you think about it, the skills that we're going to need and the skills that we're not going to need. So this is very interesting. I want to get your reactions to this.
I built a demo of MagicPath. I think I got like 1 million views on that tweet. And then I raised money in a week after that.
So you prefer Codex over Claude Code right now?
So I haven't touched Claude Code in like 5 months. The only thing you can bet is the models are getting better. The future of work.
Now, if he hasn't touched Claude Code in 5 months, I mean, how does he know if he hasn't been using it in 5 months? That was a little weird. I think it gives some shock value.
It's going to be less about doing the thing, but more about supervising the thing.
This is Pietro, the founder of MagicPath. Pietro also used to work at Anthropic, is very close to the top people at OpenAI, and has access to AI models and agents that me and you don't have access to. In this podcast, we talk about why he stopped using Claude Code, how AI agents are going to eat all software, why he uses Codex to do everything, and which AI company he would build today if he had to start from scratch. This interview is full of alpha, so if you're serious about AI, you have to watch until the end. This is the David Ondrej podcast. Enjoy. Right, Pietro, so you mentioned that tools like Codex and Claude Code are going to eat software. Can we start with you showing how you're currently building with Codex? And then let's jump into more of what future of the AI agent world looks like.
Yes. So here I have Codex, right? And there's a couple of tricks that I do when I work with Codex. I'll show you in a second. But first I want to show you like what I mean by Codex is going to eat software. So as you know, Codex has a browser, right? That you can access, you can go to the side panel, and then you can just have your files, your terminal review, and the browser. So what we basically build the functionality so that our product, which is MagicPath, can actually interact with these agents. What I meant by Codex is going to eat software, this is what I mean, because now Codex is one of the biggest and strongest harness, right? So when the users now are using like their coding agent, they already have their files, they have their design MD, they have their skills. People now have their way of working. What's missing is that sort of like place where the agents and humans can work together. And so now you can see
interface, basically.
Exactly, yeah.
So you prefer Codex over Claude Code right now?
Yes, so I haven't touched Claude Code in like 5 months. There's 2 reasons why I think Codex is better. One, the harness is better. I think they build a better agentic loop than Claude Code. Claude Code is like too bloated, but I think the most important thing is like how much more token consumption, like the token consumption of Codex, I think is way better than Claude Code. You can see like...
Yeah, I mean, it's on deep SWE, like on the benchmarks, you can see it, Codex is crushing Claude Code. And as you said, for the same task, it uses less tokens.
Yeah, I mean, if this was Opus, once it will take forever. And by the way, right now I'm like on high, so it's like, if I use low, of course it would have been much, much faster. But if this was Opus, it will take like, it will take forever. It will cost a lot of money.
What about front end though? Because like a lot of people prefer using Opus or even Gemini for front end because OpenAI, it's great at large refactors, but I think the front end is still a weakness.
Well, you can see it's a context problem. So look how much better, this is made by Codex. Look how much better those designs are, right? And the reason is because when we run it through MagicPath, we provide some context. to the model to act as a designer.
I want to touch on more on like how it's eating software, because not everybody sees into the future like you do, you know, and you have obviously like connections with people who are really on the cutting edge.
So I want to talk about this for a second when they talk about eating software, and I'm kind of, they're going to explain it, but I want to give some more context to it. And what they're talking about is you have Codex. Codex has a browser. So his platform, Magic Path, allows you to design apps. However, the Magic Path is a think of it more as a platform where you and your agent can create. So you can go in and have your agent on that Magic Path platform to create an app, several apps, web pages. You can design something in that particular, on that platform. So you can work with your agent. So you and your agent are working together. And you can connect to other people and their agents. So now you can add another person, your coworker, your friend. They can come into that platform and work with their agent. So you can decide to either co-create, have your agent to do certain things or make edits. You make edits manually, ask your agent to make changes. So it's a interactive space. Another example of this is Proof Editor. Proof Editor allows you to write with your agent. So it's like a blank document. You can connect your agent to it, like Codex, and then you can write and then ask your agent to write or make changes or make edits to it. And it will track the changes that you make, your agent makes. It'll tell you what is human written, what's written by your agent. Then you can share that with other collaborators. And then you can have someone else to come in and then they can edit along with their agent. So you can have 3, 4, 5 people working on a document with an agent to edit it. Or you can write and have your agent as your editor, proofreading, correcting your grammar as you go along, checking your citations. So you can have in real time your agent working with you. So when you say this is going to eat software, it means that instead of you going to another platform that was designed and is very stagnant, now you can connect to a page and work the way you want, and then add other people to come in and collaborate and work with you. Or other people can connect their AI and their AI can come in and edit and work with you on your document. So you can even have, if it's a design, you can schedule and you're working on it. Someone else connects their agent to it. They can schedule their agent to go in and review and do certain edits automatically, or tell them what changes have been made. So now you can do all of this work collaboratively, not only with humans, but also with agents. So it's like you've got superpowers. On top of that, you can start this work from your phone. So if you've got Codex, I can go on my phone, connect to, say, you know what, make a draft, go online, find, and he's going to do an example of it, find certain information, make a draft of the website for me. And it will do that. And then you've got a draft of a website. And then you can share that with someone else, and then they can make edits to it. And you can do all of this while you're sitting on your phone, or you can schedule your AI to start that work for you. and then to do edits. So some of it is collaborative, some of it is supervising, but all of it is using AI. It's a human AI collaboration. And I think it's changing the way you think about how work is done, and then thinking about software. So it's not necessarily, I need to go to this particular tool. I'll have a platform that'll help me to facilitate what I want to do, but my AI can do a lot of the designing. My AI can put things together. I just need a place. So it's this other place where I can share and connect and collaborate with others, and then work on this with my AI at the same time. So it's a lot of real-time work, and I think that's very interesting.
And beyond. So like explain how agents like Codex or Claude Code or Hermes or Pi are eating software. Like, do you think like SaaS business models will die? How people should think about starting a business?
Yes, that's a great question. So I think there's two reasons why software is dying and Codex is eating everything. People now are moving to a direction where they really like to have their own process, and they really like to have their own context, right? Think about this. In the past, let's say that you were working in a team, right? And so there was like a team, there was like an engineer, a PM, a designer, right? The amount of tooling that those people had access to was first of all, there was not a lot of tools, and it was very limited to whatever activity or work this person was doing. You were an engineer, you were on VS Code. You were a PM, you just live in Google Drive. You were a designer, you were living in Figma. But now, because of AI agents, not only the roles are collapsing, so a designer can be an engineer can be a PM can be an engineer, everybody's now coming up with their own tooling, right? It's like, oh, some people like Claude Code, some people like Cursor, some people like Codex. And because of that, it's much harder now to say to somebody, this is the tool you have to use, because they're so used to know how to run their own agent. And so for me, my only advice, if I was starting this company from scratch roughly a year ago, it was literally like a year ago, maybe like 2 days ago.
So that's another important point. So I use Codex. Someone else might like Claude Code or Hermes or Cursor. And instead of having everyone to use that same tool, so everyone to use Codex and then share through Codex, this platform allows whatever agent platform you're using to connect, and then you can work together. And then you can separate. So it's bringing, so now the idea is you can use whatever agentic platform you want, but you meet in a common space, and all of you and your agents can all work and collaborate. Instead of, let's say you have to use Codex and then someone, else is using Claude Code. Now we're not able to collaborate. But with these specific spaces, now we can come together and work together on work and do it at the same time. So the example he was giving, you have all of these different roles and they're using different tools and then passing these things along to everyone in the process. Now everyone can just come together and work on everything at the same time and share in that experience. So when you think of an efficiency perspective, when you think of productivity, that's what I mean by things are collapsing, because you can use, your agent can code for you. So you may be a project manager, you might not be able to code, but you can come in and change code or make different versions or update things with your agent. And you can do that all in one space. So, and make these edits, different versions, and you can use the tool that you're comfortable with. So I think this is very interesting. And I think this is a huge point.
If I was starting this from scratch again, I would say, well, build this so it can be integrated with Cursor, can be integrated with Codex, can be integrated with Claude Code. Because the idea of going to a website to do something, I think it's going to die. And so to answer your original question, how you can succeed in this environment, the only thing that matters is brand and community. It's like you really need to have the community that rallies behind you and say, like, this is what I want to, the platform that I want to use when it comes to interacting with those agents, basically.
By the way, here's the problem with every AI agent you build. It can't see the live web. It's reasoning over data that's months out of date, which limits its power. Oxylat.
Those agents. Like, for example, you know what I think is going to happen? I can bet you billions of dollars on this. What I think is going to happen is that OpenAI is going to launch an SDK, right? Okay. It's going to be like, let's call it the Codex SDK, where you're going to have basically like, let's say like right now, for example, Magic Path, for how powerful it is still limited by the fact that it's living in the browser. If you use our own agent and you select something, you can see the agent knows that this is selected, right? The problem is that when I do that, this doesn't show up as a pill into the browser here, right? And so ideally, what you want is that potentially Codex becomes this SDK where I can maybe take like some events on the browser and I can say like, send these events from the browser to the chat. And I really believe that's what's going to happen, where you're going to be able to build an application that just talks to Codex easily, essentially.
There's also like a wave of tools that like kind of work alongside you, right? Whether they watch your clicks or your screen and stuff like that. So you're saying basically that, but for the agent. So like the agent needs to have like maximal contact with what you are doing and what you're seeing.
Yes. The agent is always there, is proactive, knows what you're clicking around, knows where you're on the website, knows all these things. What's also funny, if you think about like ChatGPT Atlas, right? So Atlas was kind of like this in a way, right? Where you had like the browser and the agent. The problem with Atlas was that Atlas was browser first and agent second. This is agent first and browser second. And because you do that, it allows you to build a much more solid experience when it comes to like actually the building of the agent, right? And the rest is just like, the browser just adds on at that point. And I think the reason why Atlas didn't succeed is because people are like, well, if I had to use a browser, I just use a browser. Like it's faster for me to go to Google or go to magicpad.ai than just ask Codex to go to magicpad.ai, right? Sorry, Atlas. But now because Codex, it's the best agent and it's agent first, I'm okay to having it interactive with the browser when I have to do stuff in the browser, essentially.
So yeah, basically kind of seeing in the future that like more and more of the tasks and more of the work will be done by agents. Yes. Humans will then be providing the initial like spark, some of the taste, and so then the alpha is, okay, what do the agents need? What does the interface look like? And I guess the easiest way to like stream the tokens both to the human and from the human.
Yes, exactly. So actually, a really good point about this too that you're making is like, when you've built a product right now, you have to think about the future of work is going to be less about doing the thing, but more about supervising the thing. I believe that as the model gets better, because they are getting better, we've seen in the past 2-3 years, the model just keep getting better. The reason or the chances for humans to just go and say, I want to change this pixel, I want to move this way, is basically going to go to zero at some point, right? And so what you want to actually provide is the platform for you to supervise the agent versus doing the thing. What's very interesting about this, I want to show you, I want to see if I can show you this as well. So here's Codex on my app. Okay, this is Codex on my phone.
So I think that's interesting. I wanted to talk about this. So what he's saying is that with this, he sees platforms like Codex, you think OpenAI, they're going to start improving their interface. So if you go into Codex, you've got a browser. So they're going to start improving that browser to be able to work better with these websites, like I was mentioning, Proof Editor, etc., where you can collaborate. So now there's more interaction between whatever it is you're working on and your agent. So your agent is updating faster. So that becomes more of a seamless experience and a more collaborative experience because your agent is being updated on what's happening, which will make it more effective to help you with either whatever you're designing, what you're writing, or whatever you're doing in that particular browser. And it can make faster changes and respond to other agents working on things. And if you think about it, you can get in and start something, have your agent work on it, set a goal for your agent to work on something. You can set a goal for another person can set their agent to, once one thing is finished with the other agent, they can go in and do edits. And then you're supervising this whole process. Instead of actually doing it, you're supervising it. So the superpower and skill is, when he was talking about the tokens, is understanding. And I had a discussion with a buddy of mine about this. And he was saying that the LLMs are taking away thinking, which is true. However, understanding is becoming more important. And if you call that critical thinking, that is more important, because you're offloading a lot of the doing, the details, to the agent, and the big picture is what you're concerned about. You're concerned about the end product. If you're designing an app, you're concerned about the best design for that particular app and getting that done and completed, and making sure whatever is needed in that app is there for it to be usable, to ship, right? So the key part with that is making sure things are done according to the way it's supposed to be done, or the way that you want it, with the right features, then doing it as efficiently as possible, not using as many tokens. So that becomes a whole skill set of workflows and being able to understand and orchestrate how to do that. And on top of that, how to collaborate with others efficiently. So it becomes a whole orchestration issue, big picture issue. How can we get this done quickly? And I was thinking about this, and I was having a lot of conversations about this, and I was talking about certain tasks that I would do, and AI helps me to do. So one of them is prepping for lectures. So I would normally, and I still do, but I would do everything manually. I'd go through, I'd have a whole process, and I would do that manually every week. And that would take me about an hour every week to prep and put everything together, which is fine. And then using AI to help to prep, like a chatbot, brought that time down from an hour to about 20 minutes. Now using an agent, it brings that down to, 4 minutes. I was saying it's about 4 minutes. In other words, I can describe exactly what I want done. I describe how it's done, give examples of how I normally do it, as they say, my taste, and what I want put together. I can schedule it and have the agent to run it and put together a draft. And then I spend my 4 minutes or maybe more reviewing it, making sure everything that I want is there, and I'm done. And you can automate it. So it goes from you doing things manually to now you are working with the AI to do it in real time. Like, you got to be there if you're using ChatGPT, to now you've got your agent and you can automate that whole process. And then now you review. So the key thing is you understand, you know what it is you want, what the end product is, what it's supposed to look like, what are the parts to it, you have examples of it, and then the AI can put together your vision in your way. So I think that is huge. So when you think about those time-saving areas, this is what we're going to see. And then it's going to compress the collaboration. So instead of having to pass something to 3 different people over the course of a week, everyone can touch on that item and work on it, feedback and iterate in real time. So that week can turn into a day. And then when you get to the point of automating it, that day can turn into minutes. And he's going to show how, give an example of creating a website, and he's using the Codex app on his phone. So I think this is, oh, I wasn't even sharing the screen. So let me go back and share this point to you so you can see this.
Make a website in MagicPath about David Ondrej and show it to me. So imagine I'm like walking in the street, right?
Yeah.
So because MagicPath now it's a place for agent, it's in the cloud, any agent can access to it, right? And so now what's gonna do, but because this is Codex, it's gonna like, look up online, it's gonna look up you online, it's gonna create a new project, and we're gonna be able to see this thing, right? And so for me, this is the future of work. Where like I am on the walk, and let's say like you and I are working on a website together. You send me a Slack message, or you put like a linear ticket, and you say like, "Hey Pietro, like I want to change this. Why do I have to go on the desk and open something? I can just look at my phone and I can say like, hey, pull up the linear ticket that David wrote, and fix this design, right?" The future is this. It's like I'm not gonna go into the thing and change it. I can just ask the agent to change it. Boom. Oh, look, David Andrew website. I mean, dude, this is magic. And like you can imagine, I could have been on a walk. Like I'm showing this as a screen share, but like I could have walked here on, I like go to a coffee shop and I could make this. And then when I come back home, this is in my canvas.
Okay, so let's think about the alpha. Is it like the setup, right? Like obviously we talked about like the future of business and stuff, but like let's talk about the future of different individuals, right? Everybody wants to get an unfair advantage. Everybody wants to be on the cutting edge. Yeah. So what will differentiate you from somebody else? Just a better setup?
It's how easy you solve in a certain issue, right? So for example, the issue that we're solving right now, it's like, well, I want to go from the shorter delta from idea to share to collaboration, right? And so the way that people should think about when they make a new company, a new product, a new idea is, first of all, what is the problem I'm solving? And then how can I solve that problem so the agents can take advantage of it? That's the most important thing.
Okay, that's the hard part, that's where like the billion-dollar ideas are made. So I mean, like how would you think about this? Let's say you're not doing Magic Path, right? Let's say you have to start something different.
So I think this is important. And if you didn't see that, I'm sorry. You got to just fast forward, you got to go through this. So what he's saying is that now you can offload things to the agent to get started with. The efficiency level is to the point where you do not need to, you don't even need to be at your computer. So he was giving the example, you got the Codex app, you get a request for a website, you can have your agent to start working on the website and put together a draft of the website that you can have and review and make edits on, or you can send it, he put it in that Magic Path. Now there's a website there for someone else to start editing and reviewing immediately. So there's no having to sit at your desk, make a website. You can actually just ask AI to generate it and share it, and then you can start working on it. Or if you think about from a productivity standpoint, you could be in a meeting, you could be traveling, you could get these requests. Hey, I need to make a website. I need a presentation. Hey, I need this spreadsheet. Hey, I need this. You can actually, while you're walking, while you're traveling, have your agent to start creating drafts of these items for you. And then you can go and review them, edit them, share them. If you think they're good enough, you can share them immediately. So when they talk about this unfair advantage, the speed is the advantage, and the speed to collaboration and to output. So if you think about it, you're going to have people, it's going beyond the AI. It's going beyond chatbots. It's going to chatbots and also agents. So you need to understand how you can set up your workflows in your particular job to take advantage of this technology to have that advantage. And when you think about companies and businesses, the businesses that are adopting this or have the employees and the infrastructure adopting this are the ones that are going to move faster. If it comes to designing websites or coming out with software, you name it, they're able to get it. The information's able to flow in the organization quickly and to get it out as fast as possible. Now the pushback is, well, what about the reliability? AI hallucinates, AI makes mistakes. That's the review. So now you can generate it instantly from pretty much anywhere, review it, share it at the same time, get feedback, or you generate it and then you can make any edits that you need necessary, review it, the human in the loop, and then share it, collaborate, edit, iterate. At a breakneck speed. The other point is the AI is getting better and better. So when you think about the hallucination, and there's ways you can mitigate that specifically. And again, I think we're thinking chatbot. If you have your agent and you're working on your files, it's pulling from your particular files, your project files, your data, the hallucination is minimal. So again, pulling away from that chatbot to think about how the technology is now. This is very interesting. The link to the video is in there. I'd love to hear what you think. If you want to hear more, make sure to like and subscribe.